Hey, Scott, you got any, I don't know, claims to fame?
One thing I've reflected on is I realized I've designed and installed a technology in all 50 states, which is pretty hard to do if you can,
What?
including Alaska and Hawaii. But then I actually had a chance to go to Hawaii and see some of the stuff go in. So yeah, it's been pretty crazy. It's amazing.
See, you can literally say you were involved in a device that's in all 50 states,
Yes,
including.
yes.
Well, that's gonna go far away. I think 50 all 50 states is gonna go a far way to putting you right there on that Hall of Fame map. So just gonna throw that out there.
Well, no, good, Ty.
Welcome back to a new episode of the Stormwater World podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. Quick shout out to our sponsor, Bloxam and Company. Bloxam manufactures a sediment and erosion control stormwater inlet filter made from coconut fiber that is designed to be simple to install and easy to maintain. The filter is available in pads and rolls, making it easy to customize for a wide range of stormwater inlets. Because it sits over the inlet, sediment buildup is easy to see at a glance, so crews can quickly assess performance without looking down into the structure. Bloxam also offers free samples. To learn more, visit bloxam.com or call 1-800-745-1408. Hey, everybody, welcome back to a new episode of the Stormwater World podcast. I am excited to have Mr. Scott Gorneau with Convergent Water Technologies on with me today. How's it going, Scott?
It's great, Ty. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to sit down and visit with all of us here on the Stormwater World. As everybody knows, everybody gets an introduction, and you've got a strong one, so I'm going to go ahead and knock that out before we get going here. So, as Senior Vice President of Stormwater for Convergent Water Technologies, Mr. Gorneau is responsible for managing accounts seeking to grow their businesses by offering innovative green infrastructure, low impact stormwater solutions that enable new applications and raise the bar on performance, cost effectiveness, and verification. Earning a BS in Biological Systems Engineering in 1996 and an MS in Agricultural and Biological Systems Engineering in 1998 from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, provided the necessary knowledge for Scott to launch his career into the technical sales and the specified engineered products industry. He is a registered professional engineer in Maine and New Hampshire and a Maine certified stormwater inspector. Growing up in Maine, Scott was fortunate to experience an abundance of natural resources in both summer and winter. He is an avid fisherman, outdoorsman, and defender of natural resources. He and his wife of 26 years, congratulations, have been blessed with two remarkable children. Convergent Water Technologies is headquartered in Houston, Texas, and was founded in 2011 to address the urgent need for innovative stormwater management solutions. Convergent Water Technologies delivers cost-effective systems and services designed to overcome water management challenges. That was a lot.
That was a
Welcome to
lot.
the show, sir. But when did you get started in the stormwater world?
That's a great question. Shortly after I graduated in '98, my wife and I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, and we both are engineers. She is a civil engineer, and we both got jobs right out of college as entry level civil engineers at private consulting firms down there. So started working on drainage projects and grading projects and environmental remediation projects, and then in 2002, my wife and I decided to move up to Maine, where I'm from, obviously, and she, being a Nebraskan, wanted to get out of the flat land and the windy prairie, and wanted to see some blue water, I guess, and convinced me more than I would have been happy to stay in Lincoln, Nebraska. Um, but anyway, we've been here ever since in 2002, and as part of relocating, I had to find a new job, and I was fortunate enough, not knowing anything, fairly naive to things at that time, being a young engineer. Um, I found the folks at Vortechnics, which had started a small stormwater treatment company here in the Portland, Maine area. So that's where I got my entry.
Well, so like, wait, let's back up. So you and your wife, were you guys at competing engineering firms in the beginning?
I wouldn't say competing. In fact, shortly after I was doing more environmental work, she was doing more civil work. But there was
Oh, complimentary.
a water resource engineering position opened up at her firm. Back in the day, it was known as Post Buckley Shoe and Jernigan. We called them peanut butter and jelly sandwich firm, like PBS and J. I think they've been acquired since by a bigger firm, but we actually ended up working at the same firm. So
Oh,
we commuted every day together and went home together. Um,
well, hey,
sometimes ate lunch together. How we're together still, I don't know. But funny enough, we um, um, skipped to present today. My wife and I both work at home, and we both work in the stormwater manufactured industry. I working for Convergent and there's prior stops along the way, and my wife working for Cultec, now ADS Stormwater. So we're kind of like I don't know, like the super twins of stormwater, I guess.
yeah,
But
it's
not
power couple,
not
stormwater
related.
power couple. I met my wife at an engineering firm as well, so hopefully that bodes well for us because if you got 26 years, we're only 8 years in,
Yeah,
so that's good for everybody out there that we two examples that we can actually work together and live together.
yeah.
Do the things together. So, anyways, I had interrupted you. So, you got started with this small company there in Portland, and then what happened?
Then it was, a lot of good years there, a lot of good people. Many have since uh, either retired happily because we went through a lot of acquisition. So I got kind of my uh, business acumen, early, exposure to business in those days, and we had Vortex formed a partnership with Contec. Contec, the company that makes the metal pipe, and Contec was looking to bolt on all these stormwater treatment companies, and we were one of the few out there at the time, and we had. I think we worked with them for about 4 years as a independent company, but they were a partner of ours, and uh, then like in 2022, sorry, 2006, I think they acquired us. They acquired us, and then it was like every year they were acquiring. They acquired Stormwater Management Company, Stormwater Management Inc. out of Portland, Oregon, the other Portland. That was fun. Roller coaster times. And then they acquired CDS Technologies, the continuous deflective separator technology. All the while they were developing their own products at the same time. We had a big lab there in Portland, Maine, and out there in Portland, Oregon too, when they acquired Stormwater Management. Tremendous labs, good research, tremendous people, and then I think I had I had left by 2011, I think 2010, and they continue to acquire people, and Contact has since been acquired themselves by Quick Creek Company, I believe. So
Yeah, yeah. Quikrete. Who would have thought?
yeah,
They own everything. Go
yeah,
check it out if
they,
you're interested. Go do those. Go do that googling. Quikrete owns a lot of
yeah.
stuff.
So yeah, a lot of acquisition, a lot of change happening at those times, a lot of reorganization, a lot of people moving different places, craziness. I had an opportunity. Let's see, my son was born in 2003. My daughter was born in 2006. In that 2005, 2006 time, I had a chance. They contact offered me a transfer position. I went from Portland, Maine to Portland, Oregon to spend a year out there and
Oh,
integrate with those folks. And then likewise, there were some folks from the Portland, Oregon side that integrated with the Portland, Maine side. So we kind of like swapped positions.
so you got already got a decade. At this point, you already got a decade under your belt. When did you go? Is this the point at which you transitioned from more technical work into the more business development, or
Yeah, I
because
would
of
say
all the acquisition that you've seen? Because you've seen a lot, like just in a decade, it looks like you've seen a lot of,
that's right.
acquisitions, product development,
Yeah,
and you started on the technical side, so you kind of got the whole ball of wax rolling forward in just what I would consider a pretty short time frame.
That's right.
So
Yeah, there was like I said, a lot of change, a lot of adaptive learning. Some handled well, some not. And being an engineer, practical, engineering minded, the sales transition to sales was hard, but I kind of forced myself to do it because I just saw more potential on that side of things for me personally. But certainly there's a lot of good, solid technical people that chose to stay in those solid roles and um, work their butts off and do well themselves. But I enjoy the more the business development side, developing products, taking innovative technologies to market, things like that.
so then we've got you. So right now we've got you in Oregon, and then I guess if we fast forward a little bit, I guess you did you go from there to Fabco?
Well, yeah, moved back to Maine, and yeah, then that was the 2009, 2010. That was the huge, crazy, if you want to call it a deep recession, right? You had all those things going on, the mortgage lending crisis and the automotive crisis, and the mortgage lending crisis and the construction uh, building took a huge dive. It really impacted companies like us because our customers, the contractors, even the engineers, they weren't designing plans and permitting projects as much, right? And you had these huge track home developments in California and Texas and Arizona that just literally the yellow iron just stopped moving. They just threw the keys and walked off the sites probably. uh, not to be too dramatic, but it was pretty tough times, and it was again one of those learning experiences that you go through, and everybody survives and comes out the other end. But you learn a lot of hard truths about the industry and the financial implications. So that I saw a lot of layoffs, a lot of people having to change careers. I kind of survived and found an opportunity to grow once again at Fabco in that 2010 2011 timeframe. Small company with emerging technology, looking to grow its stormwater business. Uh,
Well, I gotta ask you, like, so because you've seen so much stuff, can you think of like a project that you were involved with back in the day that you just can't imagine happening? Like fast forward 20 years, like, hey, we thought we were doing the right thing. Like, not that it failed or whatever,
yeah,
but it's like, hey, this is how we did it back then. This is what we know now. You
yeah,
get
no,
any examples
that's
that
a great,
put you on the spot a little bit? Like,
great question. It's hard.
it's probably too many to go through, but if
No,
one sticks out in your mind,
not really, but that's a great question. I mean, I think every I'm always surprised and amazed by the level of projects that come out even today. But back then, yeah, we were working on some giant, massive projects in California that just had massive trunk lines, and you're kind of pushing the limits of these technologies, pushing so much flow through them and things like that, and the hydraulic computations and the reviewers that say like Ventura County out there were real sticklers. I just remember just going through iterations and weeks of design calcs and hydraulic calcs, and I think I finally got the approval at some point, or helped the engineer get their approval, and it was just like just a celebratory moment. Like, holy smokes, this felt like a PhD education here. I don't.
well, I had interrupted you, so we had gotten you about I consider at this point now you're like one of the OGs out there, right? So everybody's going to want to hear this story, to hear your journey here. So we've gotten you about halfway through. I got involved in the industry around 2012, and that's about where we're at right now. So you were working at Fabco, and then what happened after that?
Yeah, it's spent a good 5 years there. Some great folks over there. A very thoughtful, careful owner who's still in the business, Dominic Chang, and he's got some good people running that business. And yeah, we did some cool things there, and through that that time there, looking for partners to sell our technologies and to go specify it and work with engineers and developers and contractors. I linked up with a company called ACF Environmental, Atlantic Construction Fabrics. You may have heard of them. That's who some colleagues of yours and mine have worked for. So we linked up with them, and we're doing a pretty good job with them. We started specifying and representing some of their stuff, their technologies, in areas where they were not strong. So we developed some specs, and we were able to sell some stuff, and it just made sense to kind of go to work for them.
Right. So let's talk about, like, do you feel like, I don't know, like, so our company, our marketing company that lives behind the podcast, we represent a lot of manufacturers, distributors, whatnot. Do you feel like there's good synergy in the industry between, like, some of these relationships between these companies, or do you feel like it's really dog eat dog, or like what are your thoughts on that? I mean,
yeah,
like,
that's a very thoughtful question. Thanks. I'm a pretty competitive person. I like to compete. I was in athletics all my life, and I equate a lot of what I do in team building and stuff to the lessons I learned, on basketball court or a tennis court or a golf course or swimming pool or whatever sport I played at the time. I think now it's pickleball, but
pickleball, come on.
but I have a little different slant. But yeah. I mean, I'm just a competitive person in nature, and I don't want to slight anybody and make them suffer, but I want to win.
Right.
At the same time, I think I've mellowed, and I've learned from a lot of humble, thoughtful leaders. I've my mentors I've learned from, and I think now, as an older person, I do think there's some good synergy and respectfulness in the industry, and so forth. But in the early days, back when we were all rah, we're the best, at the early days of Vortechnics, and we were, poo-pooing our competition, maybe, those were competitive days.
Right.
Because we were all out to get each other. We were on a fast track growth curve. Back in the Vortechnics days, I literally went from, it was a less than $1 million company, and it went to $25 million in like 3 years. We really ramped up.
Wow.
So it was all,
wow.
It was focus sales, developing products, testing products, getting them approved, things like that. But yeah, definitely today, Ty, there's a lot of good synergy, a lot of good relationships out there. I think I feel it more in the room when I go to StormCon, when I go to WEFTech, or if I go to, even the LID Olympic development conferences. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it just seems like everybody buys it's like there's a lot of consolidation that goes
a lot of that. Yep.
Deers. And so I feel like there's got to be some sort of level of frenemies, relationship building type. Like, you just can't. Anyway, I guess that's why I brought it up. It's because, like, there's just a lot of things going on right now. I think I see. Well, I'll tell you what I saw. Like, I was talking to somebody not too long ago, or clients or whatever, and it seemed like, and you could tell me if you agree, disagree. Like 10 years ago, it was geosynthetic wars. Like, you'd go to the biggest big conferences, there was just fabric everywhere, right? And then I consolidate, and I know you don't really, they're all there, but it's just, you don't see everybody just talking about it, I guess, if you will. And then now, like this last year, StormCon or whatever, it was just it's like underground store. Like, I've been joking with people. I'm like, I got to do some memes out there about storage wars, right? Like, like the TV show Storage Wars, like underground detention, underground tank wars or something, call it something else or whatever. And that's everywhere. And then, is that going to get all bought up or whatever? Like, do you see those same things? Because
yes, I definitely see those same things. I've been on the front end of it. I've seen the back end of it. Yeah, you could have
Yeah.
counted 12 different boxes at the last storm.
Right?
You know, it was pretty crazy. But yes, there's been a lot of consolidation, acquisition, both on the more pure original equipment manufacturing side, like Contec, Oldcastle. But you've also seen a lot of acquisition, consolidation on that distributor side, like the Ferguson Waterworks of the world and the Core and Mains of the world, and
Right.
the NIS, New Terra or Nexterra, I think it is.
Gotcha.
Um,
Yeah.
that private equity group doing stuff. So yeah, it's
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
you never know at this point. At this point in my journey, you just never know if you're going to get bought or you be working for somebody else.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, and then so like I guess we can kind of that's a good transition into what all of that experience and things that you've seen and into what you're doing today with Convergent. You kind of want to explain to everybody and even or explain to me. I looked at the website and everything, and I kind of feel like I know. I mean, you got some product out there, but I feel like you guys are doing something else, something bigger with Convergent. You want to kind of explain how you guys fit into the puzzle now?
Yeah, we tend to think big. Big. Our leader, our leadership group consists of Bob Adair and David Batts and myself, and we have some other great people working with us. And yeah, we have a mission and we want to grow. We're still relatively a small company, but have some big products, some big ideas, and our route to market is typically through these distribution folks that have a solid team of engineered um, technical specialists that know how to get things specified, know how to work the regulations, work with the regulations. That is, work with engineers to help them specify things on plan to solve their stormwater
Okay,
challenges.
got it.
Um,
Gotcha. So the tech that I see on the website, like Focal Point and
yep,
whatnot, that is your all's tech, and you guys are distributing it through like a Ferguson or Core Main, or
Ferguson through a Greenrise Technologies, through a
okay,
Gen Hill Construction Materials, which is now owned by the next Terra company I mentioned,
really?
and
It's
certainly
crazy. I
A-
can't even keep up anymore.
ACF Environmental was acquired by the Ferguson Waterworks group as well. I mentioned those folks
Gotcha.
early. So all those folks at ACF, those legacy, all those folks at Corey, Simone Petrie, and that whole group, Thomas DiLoretto, Rennie DiLoretto, you know, they they worked that an industry hard, did a great job.
Gotcha. So what are you guys? Are you guys creating new technologies or any kind of technology? Can we get a can
Yeah,
we get a spoiler on the podcast? You guys got anything new you're fixing?
I wish.
Yeah,
Uh,
you got
well, always,
anything you're fixing to launch?
I'll throw it out there to the world. Like if anybody has an innovative technology and they need help getting it to market, we're the place to call. We can definitely help you. Bring your product to market.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully cheaper and faster than you might be able to do on your own if you're under resourced or just don't have the wherewithal. Need that type of help. So that's what we do. Our smart pond technology is a fairly good example of that. We're partnered with the fine folks at Autoflow LLC. They're a small family company in Mississippi, and they had a great idea for our technology, and we helped them develop it. And now we're doing a lot of smart ponds all over the country.
Oh, okay. I see what you guys are doing then. That's
Smart
cool.
pond is one word. It's trademark. You see, it's not the same as saying smart pond is two words.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you haven't run into any of those issues. Yeah, I know. I'm looking at it right now on the website. I got you. So you guys not only so are you guys dreaming up? Are you R&D in house too, or are you just helping those that need that because you guys have got the talent and the infrastructure
Yeah,
and
we'll do some R and D if necessary. We don't have our own physical lab, but we certainly have many partners in the industry that do all that certification and testing. There's some very notable ones across the country, as you might imagine. Alden Labs, which I believe is owned by Verdantis now. they're based in Holden, Massachusetts, and then you've got the fine folks like at Herrera up in the Pacific Northwest doing testing at various test sites, and different labs, Desert Research Institute, St. Anthony Falls, and so forth. Stormwater, UNH Stormwater Center would be a potential one to test your stuff at. But yeah, we work with them all.
So you said you're in Maine, huh? But the company is it started in Houston?
Yep, that's where Bob Adair and David Batts are located, and they allow me to enjoy my time up here in Maine and work remote.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I basically live right around the corner from them. I live in Orange, Texas. I'm
Nice.
2 hours down the road, but in Texas terms, it's right around the corner. So that's cool. Well, I kind of got off of, we were talking about you and I got onto the company. So like if we start to fast forward, what's your days looking like now? What's your new role with Convergent? What are you focused on personally?
Yeah, still growing. Helping our distribution partners grow their businesses with our technologies. So we've kind of relaunched ourselves a little bit, changed some things up, set some new expectations for our distributors, all in the goal to help customers on the just customers in general, civil engineers, solve their problems, stormwater challenges. So we want more people out there speaking our language. So
Gotcha.
doing a lot of that. Sitting on some committees, and just otherwise just always solving stormwater challenges. I've got a lot of customers that call us for help if they want to, do some water quality, shrink or reduce the size of their detention basin somehow, whether it's increased infiltration or some type of automated optimization process with that smart pump technology. We do all that in house. So I'm kind of the lead technical guy on that.
Gotcha. Where do you see this all going, Scott? Where's the industry headed? Where's Convergent headed? I mean, those two things may be mutually exclusive. They may be in line with each other, but
that's a great question. Sometimes I have my head down too much to look up and see the horizon, but certainly my colleagues David and Bob have lift my head up sometimes, help me see that. We want to grow this company, be a big company, have a solid team of employees, all that good stuff that you hope for as the business grows. So our goal right now is to grow the business as much as we can, and solve.
it sounds like. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it sounds like the best way to do that is for some of these new techs out there that may be underserved because of lack of funding to reach out to you, have a conversation. That's what it sounds like to me.
Exactly. Yep. And it seems like in the last 3 or 4 months, I've fielded some really interesting phone calls, which has been exciting. I always enjoy taking those calls when somebody says, "Hey, I need help. I have this product idea and I can't get it."
Let's take a step back though, and let's clarify that a little bit, just so that way your phone doesn't ring crazy or whatever. You guys you guys are looking for proven technologies that are getting going, right? Like somebody can't just come to you guys with a concept and you guys are going to help them bang it out, right? Like,
well, I mean, we will qualify anything.
Okay. Well, go ahead. Everybody call him.
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
Trying to save you from some of the calls that were like, wait, you're just not there yet.
A simple dirt bag technology, I don't know if we can do much for you, quite honestly. You're probably better off just going to anybody else besides us. We want something that adds value, and we know what it takes. We're pretty upfront, and we set those expectations early. If you want to take a filter to the market, and you want to get it going, you're going to have to go through tape or tarp or NJCAT or something like that, right? And that takes time and money. Certainly the STEP program, that's moving along. The goal, one of the hopefully, I mean, my colleague Bob Adair has sat on that committee, and it keeps evolving. But our goal in that would be to develop a national testing program that gets products to the market faster and cheaper. That's a tall order. It's a tall task.
Yeah.
Especially when
And do you feel like, and you can reserve the right to deflect from this question, but do you feel like that would also help the little guy compete? I mean,
100%.
I just call it like it is. Like I see a lot of it's pay to play a little bit. Like there's a lot of money that has to get invested to get some of these,
That's right.
money, time,
It would
both.
certainly help the small guys out there.
Because I think it chokes down, just like what you guys are doing. Like it can choke innovation, right? I can't get off first base because I don't have the funding.
100%. That will be a constant struggle, probably until my career's done. I think there'll be a constant challenge to help the little guys get to the market faster, cheaper.
Well, as we kind of wrap it up a little bit, you had mentioned an idea. We can bounce it around before we get off the call. In our pre-call, you had talked about a hall that I should I should help create a hall of fame for stormwater as part of what we're doing with the stormwater world.
Yeah, I think we should do
Gives this,
a virtual Hall of Fame. Maybe it's housed right there in Texas.
Well, it'd be right there. We could just put it right there on the website, right?
Yeah.
But how would that go about? Like, step one, who we get to vote?
Great
do
question.
we get all the? Huh?
That's a great question. You would get the top vote, maybe, or you'd be the final.
I've only been in this game since 2012, right? Like, so I've only lived a couple of lives. You've lived multiple lives. I think it would be an interesting conversation to have, though. And then, I guess we'd have to get all the media companies involved too, right? Or all the big conferences or somehow.
I think we could put together a very esteemed panel. Certainly. I think you do some work with SWEMA, maybe the Stormwater Equipment Manufacturers Association. But I would want this Hall of Fame to be at least fairly not exclusive to the stormwater manufacturers industry. I would want to maybe open it up, and maybe I'm thinking too big. Maybe we just keep it to the industry alone. So then we could appoint some voters. But you've got regulators, you've got academics. You've got practitioners both on the municipal and the private site development side. I've worked in all those spaces with all great types of people. We also should have. There's some people that are no longer with us. They've passed away. That I've been with, and some folks out there that started the Vortechnics business. Certainly, I'm sure other people know people that are no longer with us, but a lot of great, I think there's a good potential for a Hall of Fame committee.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, out of all of my spare time, I was like, oh, that's a cool idea. And then I kind of been thinking about it as we've been talking, and I was like, oh gosh. Now I'm just tired thinking about it, because I'm like, oh.
Well, I'll have to bring some sponsorships to the table for you. Maybe we get some sponsorships.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're gonna be first in line, sir. Right. What are we forgetting? What did we forget to talk about? I mean, we took everybody through a 20-year journey from Lincoln, Nebraska, and back again. Yeah. I feel like we threw the ring into the fire of Mordors, and here we are.
No, I'm just a small part of this industry, and I'm sure others have great stories and could share similar journeys. I can name 20 something colleagues here that have all been with me, shoulder to shoulder, or at least room to room. Through this.
Where are you speaking at anytime soon? Are you speaking anywhere? Where can people find you?
That's a great question. I am on the technical committee for the Maine Stormwater Conference. It's held every 2 years. It's happening this fall in September. Great time to come to Maine. We have a full panel of presenters. I think we had over 50 submissions, and we can only fit in about 35, 36. So I'll be speaking at that. I'll be doing some work there. So that's a great conference. It is a regional conference for sure, but if anybody's looking to, have a vacation and do stormwater.
I've been to Portland, Maine. I was at that conference before in my other life when I was selling this computer software for municipal compliance, and it is a beautiful city that you live in. You live in Portland, Maine?
Just a town over. It's called South Portland.
Okay,
we're kind of all considered.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. It's all gotta be. It was absolutely beautiful. Mariella had come with me, and we went on the trolley ride and all that. We went to the lighthouse tour. I mean, total touristy stuff, and it was absolutely beautiful area up there.
All good.
No StormCon. Are you coming to? Are you and the crew to StormCon?
Yeah.
And then I guess coming up soon. Are you guys going to be in Ohio? Do you guys do the Ohio Stormwater Conference?
Yeah, I've done that in the past at the the Kalahari Resort. Quite an impressive place. We actually did a big project at the Cedar Point Sports Complex many years ago with a firm out of Cleveland. But I'll have to consider it. There's a lot of things I have to on my plate travel wise.
Yeah. Oh, really? What? So any final thoughts?
No, this has been great, Ty. Thanks.
I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Yes, sir.
It's all good.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, I appreciate it. Sounds like that's the pod, everybody. Thank y'all. We'll see y'all on the next one. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening, and thank you to our sponsor, Bloxam. Bloxam offers a coconut fiber stormwater inlet filter designed for simple installation, easy maintenance, and clear visual performance on site. The product is available in pads and rolls and can be customized for a variety of inlets. Learn more at bloxam.com or call 219-363-0206 or 1-800-745-1408. We'll see you on the next episode.